Hey, thanks for joining this webinar today. I'm Justin Norman, Director of Product Strategy at ironSource. I've been with ironSource for almost 9 years now, focusing on enhancing our product offering for a wide variety of app developers and publishers in the mobile ecosystem. Today, I'm here to talk about rewarded video, and specifically the what, why, and how rewarded video for mobile applications. Before getting into the meat of things, just want to talk about ironSource and why we're talking about rewarded video to begin with today. So ironSource split into two main constituents. We have our Sonic product that focuses on app developers' launch, monetization, and growth of the application throughout its entire lifecycle, and our Aura product that focuses on telecom operators and the lifecycle enrichment of the device and the user experience within the device. This is all done through the ironSource platform, focusing on effective user acquisition tools, monetization channels, one of course being rewarded video, which we'll talk about today, robust analytics, content or creative management services, publishing for app creators that are ready to push their app into the world, and user engagement and device management features. So first, let's start off, what is rewarded video? Rewarded video is a completely unique ad unit because it's 100% user opt-in. And a user watches 15 to 30 second video and in exchange gets some sort of in-app reward. And it's important to mention that the user has no obligation to install or to make any download or make any purchase. All they need to do is watch the short video. So what does the flow look like with rewarded video? In the application, there is some sort of traffic driver or button that gives a very call clear to action. A user needs to watch a video in exchange for X. Immediately after hitting the button within the app, a high quality short video will show. After that 15 to 30 seconds, the user X's out of the video and immediately gets the reward. So it's a very seamless process for the user. Hit the button, watch a video, get rewarded. So why are we focusing on rewarded video to begin with today? Well, let's look at the challenge that many applications have. So of subscription-based applications, most of them offer some sort of free trial, 90%. And about 39% of users that start the free trial within 24 hours have canceled that free trial. And only 7% on average will convert into a long-term subscription. So there's a massive opportunity here to continue to monetize and engage users throughout the lifecycle of the application. Users want the opportunity to engage with the content on applications, and if they don't or they have to pay for it, they tend to get irritated. So these are some actual examples from App Store reviews. If we look at the first one here, we won't look at all of them, but just the first one, says, I download so many photo apps because I enjoy editing photos. I was really looking forward to this app, but when I went to change the background, it let me do it. Then I had to buy the feature. Worst app ever and never buy this app. 3 thumbs down. So that's a pretty harsh review, but it shows that a user was willing to engage with the content, that there was an opportunity. They had already downloaded the app, but when it came to paying, they were just very unwilling to pay for that feature. So that's where reward video can really help. This is an opportunity where that traffic driver could have been shown to that user and they could have actually seen that content. So as I mentioned, rewarded video is a bit of a unique ad unit in the sense that it's a win-win-win for everybody involved. The user, the developer, and the advertiser. The user, of course, it's completely opt-in and it creates a positive value exchange. The developer is able to retain the user. They didn't lose the user like in the previous review that a user just said worst app ever. They actually are able to show the content and retain the user within the app. And we'll show more about that later. Revenue. Obviously, impressions are being shown and revenue is generated every time an impression is delivered. It creates a positive association to the app. User doesn't leave a negative review. They actually leave a positive review because they're able to see the valuable aspects of the application. And hopefully we're able to convert user from a rewarded video watcher to an actual subscription, a subscription user. And then for the advertiser, they get quality engagement. Users tend to complete rewarded video all the way through the whole 15 to 30 seconds because that's the only opportunity to get the reward. And the viewability is very strong because there's nothing competing with the view on the application itself. And there's a positive brand association. The user isn't annoyed by the fact that they have to see videos or see content from an advertiser that they didn't choose to see. So why is rewarded video so powerful? And what we see is that users that watch one or less rewarded video on day one tend to have a flat propensity to or rate of subscription. Whereas users that watch 5 or more rewarded videos on day one have a significantly higher likelihood of converting to a subscription. And it makes sense. They like the content, they've unlocked content, they've seen a lot of content, so they're willing to move forward with subscription, or more likely to move forward with the subscription. And this is the impact on monetization and retention. So on the graph on the left, we see average revenue per daily active user on the y-axis and impressions per user per day on the x-axis. Of course, you're going to generate more revenue as you show more impressions, but the important part is on the right side where we look at retention by the number of impressions shown for rewarded video a day. So as you can see, the retention actually goes up. The more users watch rewarded video, the more they're likely to retain in an application. And this is actually opposite to other ad formats where the more impressions you show, the retention actually decreases. So here are some best practices for implementing rewarded video to boost the revenue generated. First, looking at some benchmarks though, engagement rate. Engagement rate is the percentage of daily active users that are going to watch at least one impression in the app, one rewarded video impression in the app. So we try to hit to 40%. Now it's an opt-in only ad unit, so you're not going to get 100% of users to engage with it. But if you can hit 40 or above, you're doing very well. And then of the users that engage with rewarded video, we'd like to hit on average about 4.5 impression for those users. Again, if we think back to 5 and above, those users have a much higher likelihood of converting to subscription. So it's really important to also try to get enough content and enough implementation of rewarded video so that you can hit at least this 4.5 benchmark. And then when we look at the value of each impression for rewarded video, it's really high. In the US, it's 2 cents. And in the US for average revenue per daily active user, it's 31 cents. So the revenue that can be generated from rewarded video is quite significant as well. It's also really important to make sure that we give users something that they want, right? If your application has a virtual currency, consider giving some of that virtual currency to non-paying users. Also test, some of your best or most popular features that are typically behind the subscription paywall. Try showing some of that content to your users. Obviously unlocking it through rewarded video. And then, make sure that it's shown at a time that is appropriate, or a time in the cycle of the session that a user will actually consider watching. Think about rewarded video as more of a feature and less of an ad unit. So integrate rewarded video into the app's core functionality, a part of a location where a user will want to watch a video at the time where they will change their background, change their filter, do something within an application. That's the best point to surface the rewarded video traffic driver. And all these things should be tested. So yes, as a developer, you know your users best, and you think you know what would be the best implementation, but should always be tested. So consider trying things like increasing or decreasing the frequency or the pacing at which rewarded video can be shown, Also, the number of times that it's shown throughout a session for a user. So if you're, thinking, I'll cap it at 5 a day, maybe, try more or less. It really depends. It's unique per application. You can also do different rewards and different placements within the application. So don't place just one and don't do just one reward. If you have the opportunity to do multiple types of rewards and multiple placements within the app, you should definitely test these types of things. And ultimately, we're looking at the total number of impressions. How are we increasing retention? Your average revenue per user through a longer period of time, 2 weeks at least, is what we would suggest to test any sort of ad implementation. And as a tip, all these things can be set up through ironSource A/B testing suite on the platform and analyze things like the capping and pacing or any sort of frequency, placements, rewards, all those type of things. So as some quick takeaways, most users are not going to subscribe, and that's okay. Rewarded video is not just another ad format in the game. It is part of a tool to retain users, and ultimately you can use that implementation to expose more content and open up new subscriptions. Thank you guys for joining. If you'd like to learn more, please join us at is.com, and you can read all about rewarded video and all of ironSource offers.